and structuring it in pretty much any way and trying to convey that to the audience. In particular, he's asked me to look out for body language and the way that he's using the stage, but also has pointed out that there isn't or hasn't been a huge amount of preparation for this speech. So how is he handling this under pressure, almost as an ad hoc speech without that planning that you would normally do? Roger, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. If hammer is the only tool you've got, what happens? What happens if the hammer is the only tool you've got?
You can bang anything.
Things.
Hmm?
You can break things.
Okay. You can come things.
You can scare people.
You can fix things.
You can scare people.
You can scare people. Yeah.
You have a feeling that you are a strong guy.
Yeah, you are a strong guy. So you've got a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Please make a note of this. Because you've got a tool, you're a very strong guy. You radiate that. Okay, that is also one aspect. Okay, if the hammer is the only tool you've got, every problem you see is a nail. If the hammer is the only tool you've got, whatever may be the problem, you look at it as a nail and you try to fix it with a hammer, because that's the only tool you've got. When it comes to leadership, people say that it comes under major 7 categories of leadership. Where is it? Democratic leaders, autocratic leaders, transactional leaders, transformational leaders, and there's also one more thing called laissez-faire. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right. Laissez-faire is a leader who doesn't give any instructions or anything. He lets the team decide things for themselves. And also, we have been hearing a lot in terms of the corporate role, servant leadership. And these are the various different kind of leaderships, and in the popular culture, we have also got so much of a celebrated, glorified leadership styles. For example, Apple leadership style, Google leadership style. What is the leadership style in Facebook? So the popular culture glorifies that. Is leadership something which is applicable only in a business and professional environment?
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. I think the leadership situations are thrown to us ever since we are born. When you're hungry, you're supposed to cry and get food. And there are certain things which are inbuilt within the biological system, and there are certain things which you learn later. And leadership is not something which is in the arena of only the corporate world or a professional world or a business world. So can you define leadership as this way or that way or that way? Not really. Even to smile to a stranger, they say it kind of lights up everybody. Looking at a stranger and smiling, that's a good thing. And it glorifies your day. It sends a lot of positive ways. It's recommended to smile. That's a good thing. But even in certain situations, whether to keep smiling or not is a leadership decision. You can't just keep smiling in every situation. There are situations where you will say, even though it's great, it's good, you will stop smiling. About this kind of social interactions, I remember one event where, long back, before 10 years, I was called for a project in New York. We used to live in New Jersey, work in New York for a diamond merchant, putting all the IT systems for them. So every day I have to travel from New York to New Jersey. End of the day, bus travel, there's a very pretty girl sitting just next to me. And she started smiling at me. I smiled. And then she started saying, I'll pray for you. I understand you. You know all the problems, all the trouble you guys give to people, but still I forgive you. I will pray for you. And she's smiling. And she started telling these things. I started kind of panicking inside. What if she had a gun? What if she had a knife? Because she assumed
Or a hammer.
maybe I'm from Taliban or something. At that time I used to have full hair and everything, normal thing. But people assume things, and I don't know what was the assumption, what was her day, what was her dogma, what was her whatever it is. But she started looking at me as a terrorist, and she was praying for me, and she was wishing well for me, and she was telling all these things. A social situation which might be she was taught or she believed. That's a great thing. I think that's one of odd situations. I just thought of sharing this because these kind of situations, everyday life as it commands and demands you to handle things in a way which is more sensible, where you show up for the situation. You cannot be always autocratic leader or a democratic leader or a servant leader. There are certain times where a leadership needs, without consulting anybody, to take decisions. You need to take such decisions. There are times where you need to democratically ask them. So leadership is not one style fits all. You need to pick leadership which meets the given situation. So leadership is not there to feed your ego. Leadership is not there to become somebody else. A responsible leadership is showing up for the situation, being responsibly acting for that given situation. So that's what is leadership for me. That is the way the leadership should be taken into account, and leadership is applicable in not only in professional world, it is applicable in every part of the life. At family, because some people, they return home like the CEO of the company, and they behave in the same way at home. And some people, what kind of discussions they have at home and have a very democratic decision making with kids and friends and family, they try to apply the same thing at companies. And startups have got a different kind of a mindset, different kind of a decision making. And seasoned organizations have got different kind of meaning. The so-called glorified companies and glorified popular culture leaders, they have made blunders. And if you go into each organization, there have been big blunders made by each one of them. A good leader will always learn from all of them. So leadership is not a single hammer. When the hammer is the only tool you've got, leadership is a big arsenal of tools. Pick the right tool and use it accordingly for the situations. So when the hammer is the only tool you've got, every problem looks as a nature. Thank you.
What a start! What an amazing speech by Rosanna. Another big round of applause, please. It takes a lot of courage to stand up here and deliver a speech, and that was a phenomenal speech.